Hey, Rumble World Entertainment, and this is the review for episode 7 of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. Probably be a short and sweet review because there's really not a hell of a lot to go into in this episode. There's a couple of interesting things, but overall, unfortunately, it's another May story, which is really unfortunate because May is the worst part of this show. And how do you say her name? Is it Claycy, Clemens? It's just terrible. So we'll get to the interesting stuff. It looks like you think there's a new player in town coming to a Monarch outpost in Alaska, Outpost 88. There are guys all in black. The start of the episode, we're seeing May get taken in an airport bathroom in Algeria. You see black suits coming in. She's like, I've never been kidnapped before, so how does this work? So you're kind of thinking, are they connected? And then I was thinking, like, wait, is this Apex? Are these people Apex? But it's not, because it's not with the people with May, but it's also not in Alaska. In Alaska, it's in fact Shaw and Duval and the other ex-members of Monarch. And turns out, yes, they did leave Monarch. So she doesn't seem to be playing Shaw and stuff. You're not quite sure why they're taking this facility. They lock it down, but before they do, Shaw tells all the people there, you're free to go at any time. Like, you can leave, but before you do, you have a choice to make. And the choice is, do you want to be on that side or do you want to be on the right side of history? The one girl gets out and phones Monarch and tells them that Shaw's there. Well, she doesn't say it's Shaw because she doesn't know who Shaw is, but she says this guy is there and he's locking the outpost down. I think it's the girl that was in the episode 3, I think 3 or 4, that picked up the gamma radiation in, where is it, Utah or something. I think I said Montana before. I think it's Utah that she was in. I think it's her. I'm not quite sure. But we go from that with May. Unfortunately, it's a lot of kind of flashbacks with May. There's no flashbacks to the 1950s or anything in this episode. And Shaw's literally in it at the beginning and the end of the episode. Tim is still here. I didn't spoil it in the last episode, but I suppose if you've seen it, if you're watching the show, you'll know by now. The helicopter that they were in that hit one of the fins of Godzilla, Tim was on that helicopter and everyone was supposed to die. He survived. He got buried under sand. He finds Kentaro and Kate at the airport and they think he took May, and he didn't. So with the flashbacks with May, you find out she was getting a job interview with this new company. At least I think it's a new company at the time, called AET. I can't quite remember what it stands for. The T part is technology, and the other parts are something else. It's a weird name. And she's offered the job. It's meant to be great money and stuff, and she's being hired to do coding. So that's what she's actually being hired for. In normal time, Tim makes a deal with Monarch to help Kentaro and Kate find May. Kentaro he doesn't care now about the father. He just wants to go home. He doesn't care because he left. And even when Kate says to him, oh, maybe he left because he was trying to get Godzilla or find Godzilla himself and stuff. And Kentaro says, and he's right as well when he says it, he's like, so what? He was going to be happy just to leave us there to get trampled on. So he doesn't care now about finding the father. Tim makes the deal. He gets suspended, by the way, from Monarch. And he basically tells off he wants to help them find May, and then they'll help him find Shaw. But Verdugo says to him, like, did you tell them the truth about their little friend? So he tells them, and we get the flashback. Her name isn't May, it's Cora. And this is where we find out that she's getting this job with this company. She's frustrated then in the work because she was told she could move up in the company, and the woman that's running this company is saying to her, like, yeah, there's a seat at the table for you, but you have to earn it and all this crap. But she broke into, so this is all of May's stuff in this episode. She broke into the systems of the company gained access to the neural network that's obviously in the basement, and she turned on the computer and saw that they're doing experiments on animals. It seems to be they're trying to perfect some sort of mind control technology or something on that lines, because it's all monkeys with like stuff on their heads, and she freaks out over that, so she screws AET to do these experiments. So she deletes all the files, everything, years of work, not just hers, everyone's. And that's why she went to Japan. She packed up and left. She hadn't been home for 2 years. The only person she's in contact with is her sister, but she can only every now and again phone her. So they go and find an AET, the woman, I can't remember what they said her name was, don't care either, basically wants to make a deal with May now that, okay, we'll let you go, blah blah blah, but you're going to report everything back to us about what you know and learn about the Titans. So she wants her to go off with Kate and Kentaro and even Tim, so she can give back information. She wants her to basically be a spy for this company. And when Kentaro and Kate and Tim find her, the way they sneak in to the building is Tim sets off one of the advanced alarms that comes up on the phone that no one knew they had, but it's one of those large organisms approaching the city, so everyone leaves for cover so they can get into the building. And as they run up the stairs, your woman comes out of the room and turns around to May and says, oh, I'm so glad we could get this deal done and put all this behind us. And she leaves, and May refuses to go with them, tells them, look, here's the truth, our Scrooge is over, I just want my life back. I didn't care about your father, I didn't care about the files, I didn't care about helping you, I just wanted to be able to get my life back and come home. And tells them to leave because clearly she doesn't want to spy on them again. By the way, Kate's completely forgiven her, which was really weird, seeing as they were just completely screwed over by her. Just really quickly forgave her. So they leave, and as they walk out of the building, they get kidnapped. And you think, Jesus, the AET just take them now? Like, they were just in the building. No, Monarch taking them. Verdugo is in the car. And Kate makes the same deal with Verdugo that she made with Tim, which is, if you help us get May, we'll help you find Shaw. So they do. You know, your woman is in the building, and May walks back into the room. She goes, oh, I see you've made your choice, meaning she knows now that she's gonna screw her over and not help her. And May's like, yeah, well, you know, I always took pride in not needing money and stuff and blah blah blah, and as soon as you dangled it in my face I bit, so I screwed us over. She couldn't handle it. And she gets a phone call all of a sudden, not May, your woman, saying Natalia Verdugo from Monarch is here to see you. Then we get her arriving home, meeting her family. Then she's back with before we get to that too far, we do get a scene with Shaw and Duval in a warehouse or at least a storage area in the Monarch outpost, and they're collecting tons and tons of explosives. And you're thinking, like, what's he taking bombs and stuff for? We get back to that because this is how the episode closes out then with this. But May shows back up to Kentaro and Kate, and she wants to go with them now. And they're like, what about your family? You just got back. And she goes, yeah, well, now I can phone them anytime I want. So she's going with them to find Shaw. Verdugo and Tim are in a different car, and she's like, I hope, you know, your little friends can really pull this off and find them for us. And she says about pulling the stunt for setting off the warning system, and that they're going to do this PR explanation for why it went off. And Tim says to Verdugo, I think you should do the PR announcement. And she's like, what? And I think it's time Monarch comes out of the shadows. So she does, she agrees to that, and goes on live television to say, you know, we've been working with governments, all the top governments and all the top scientists, to try and prevent another G-Day and all this stuff. And while that's happening, we go back to AET, and your woman's on the phone, like she's earpiece, and she's like, yes sir, I think the deal will be good and all this crap. And she goes, yes, it just arrived. And she sits down and she goes, yes, it looks great to me. And AET changes on the TV screens to Apex. So you're seeing the formation of Apex, which means we're probably looking at the experiments and stuff that is what moved forward with Mechagodzilla. I'm assuming that. And it's quite possible then that the person she's on the phone to could be Charles Dance's character from King of Monsters. We don't know. You don't hear names or anything like that. So you are seeing clearly the formation of Apex, where Apex starts. Then we go back to Shaw, and we're in Alaska. We're back to where that Titan is. This is the only part with a Titan in this episode, by the way. It's the weird freezing Titan, and it's only in it for a couple of seconds. What they've done is they set up all the bombs all around the big hole with the glowing thing coming out of it, and they blow up all of that. The Titan comes jumping out at one of the helicopters until an explosion happens. You don't know whether it's dead from that or not. And Shaw goes, wait till you see this. And all of a sudden, it's like a big whirlwind suction type thing. The whole thing just starts spinning like mad. And he goes, get us out of here quickly. And they fly off, and it's like a tornado being sucked down into the earth. And all of a sudden, just this big bright light happens. They land that chopper, and he comes out, and he's celebrating because they closed the hole. So he obviously thinks that is where the Titans are coming from. And he clearly thinks then he's closed the hole to stop it all. And that's where the episode ends. So that's the episode. The stuff with Shaw was interesting. You know, you're not quite sure what exactly he's doing other than just closing that hole. It's still a bit off. You're seeing a bit of the formation of Apex. The woman who's the head of that company of the AET is another boring character. And all the May stuff is garbage. It's just boring stuff. So there's small fragments of interesting stuff in this episode, but mainly it's all May, and that sucks, to be honest. But that is the episode. So with that, I will leave it there for this one. So cheers, I'll catch you in the next one.